Carnopolis stands transformed. The stone circle is complete. The trees are falling. Copper Age dawns with gleam and a growl. But now a god demands a home. Today, the shrine of Cernunnos, patron of beasts, wealth, and wilderness. The city expands, the forests shrink, and we begin to wonder who's really in control, the builders or the god in the woods. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of war, traders of great renown, I, the strategic Indian, bid you welcome to my channel, where our motto is think, think, practice thinking. If you like the content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment, which will greatly help with the almighty YouTube algorithm. Welcome to Carnopolis, and we are going to go over and transition to the Copper Age. So let's go ahead and go to our knowledge points. The previous raid was with the weapons that the enemy had were copper. So here we go. We have entered the Copper Age, and we are now going to unlock a bunch of smelting items, and we are also going to go for a lot of metalsmith workshops, so we don't have to put down individual sleds anymore. We can automate it. We are going to get copper tools, and we are also going to go ahead and get cows, and let's see how many we can get, and we are going to also go for carts. So donkeys are needed, and finally the wheel has been unlocked. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to require a bunch, and I mean really a bunch of wood, because yeah, this game is about wood. So let's identify the areas that we can go ahead and deforest. So this is the nearest one to us. We are at 132% workload, and we are going to be able to grab all of these trees. They are not mature yet, but okay, we'll get them. And we did our farming quite well. These two trees grew where I wanted to grow stuff, so this has got to go also. We have some trees, let these mature a bit more, and then we'll get them. We have started work on our third quadrant, so I think we will be able to do the third quadrant. The fourth quadrant also I wish to complete today. And then I want to make the shrine of Cernunnos. So previously we had the Bengali symbol of Shri over here. We are going to get rid of it, and we are going to build Cernunnos. Cernunnos is going to be a bit anachronistic because Cernunnos is a god of the first century CE. So this is prehistory, and yeah, we don't. So basically, this is going to be a kind of an inspiration for Cernunnos, is what I'm trying to say. So we are going to build something which will inspire people hundreds, if not thousands of years down the line. So the first example of Cernunnos is from an ancient single image. It's from the Pillar of the Boatman found in Paris in 1st century CE. And he appears cross-legged, and he has got stag antlers, and he's surrounded by animals and coins. So that symbolizes both wealth and, of course, nature. And we have got both of those. We have got huge amounts of wealth in terms of food. We are going to dominate nature. That's a little bit of what we are going to get into this episode. And let's see who wins, the ancient gods or modernity, or do we need to exist in harmony with as our power increases, so does our responsibilities. Let us now go ahead and start putting down. We have got plenty of clay. We have got 152 clay, which we went ahead and did in the previous ages, because right now we will have enormous need for clay. So let's go ahead and put down 6 smelters, which will come over here. They are going to be back to back. And we are going to put down a charcoal pit here, a charcoal pit which is facing our men here, and we will also have some charcoal pits on this side. So let me go ahead and build the storage area for this. A lot of work needs to happen in this episode. I think we will get it all done quite nicely, because in the previous episode we were trying to put down all of our defenses down, and that was already more than enough that we could basically pull off. But we did it admirably, and we got all the defenses down and the religious procession avenue completed. 6 smelters over here. Let them just build this, and what we will do is we will need time before we can actually go ahead and even use them. So we have all the time in the world. More smelters, because we want to get a huge amount of our ore in, and we will get a lot of smelting done. Huge amount of workload will come in, nothing we can do about it. And we are going to put down 3 metal smiths on this side, and 3 on this side. The sound is going to drive us a bit crazy because we have got a very annoying mechanic of alerting. We are just under the, we have 159 animals which require shelter and 160 space for them. So we are building more stables. The problem will get solved, hopefully. Let us now get rid of all of these crafters because I don't need them. And we have 14 flint, so let me keep one of them up. Let me just keep one of them up so that I can use the flint up. I won't get any more flint, so let me go ahead and recycle these mines, these flint mines. This annoying really stops you from thinking, and I really dislike it because it's really an enemy of thinking. And that is, for me, a very egregious sin. Humans should always think. Now we will go ahead and... No, there's quite a lot of work. Let's just continue. We might get one attack while we are still transitioning, and we won't be able to go to metal yet. So let me go ahead and get rid of all of these tasks and put some knives, because this guy is going completely insane. He's going over hyper fixated on our high workload. I know the workload is high. Calm down. Given this game, he would just make that sound while I was saying and reasoning with it that let's keep the sound down. There it is. So I'm going to ignore it like a Chad, and we are going to put down more workload because the game is not going to stop anyways. The trader is here. 5 iron mines or 6 is the maximum. So there is an iron mine here. Sorry, copper mine. So there it goes. We won't get into animal husbandry right now because our hands are really full. Let's put one more here, another copper mine here. So I'm going by the nearest copper mine. So that's 3 in total. And then just across the hill, right over here, is the 4th one. And we have over here the 5th one. And across the river is the 6th one. Right there. I see a few donkeys. So let me go ahead and put down the order for their capture. And I have a kid nearby who can already start with the first one. We are not going to get any more goats, etc. We don't need it. Now we will have to look at what the trader got us. Right, so we got a bait of copper, one goat. Let's get some meat, let's get some grain, let's get some fish. And we are going to pay with obsolescent items. So that would be these things right here. So the wood things can go away. I'm going to give away the sling. The sling is valueless now, so I have to get it out of the inventory so that it cannot be traded. And let's go ahead and finish the trade up. And we'll give a flint away because we have excess. We have 42 leather. And I don't have enough straw to build anything, and that is why a lot of our workload is actually being held up by unbuildable things. Anyways, we continue. We will also expand the amount of straw that we can get by putting down extra barley farms. That's why I didn't need these trees growing over here. They will impede a little bit our barley planting. There we go. It's impeding, but we will plant for now, and then we will replant them once these trees have been cut down. So kindly ignore this very annoying sound of notification. There is really nothing I can do. I'm not going to put the workload down because this is a transitional time, and this is a very, very difficult time. We are able to build things which require clay. So let's go ahead and look at that process happening. So let's go at Amadin, who is building some things. Right, so here are our furnaces being built. There we go, first furnace is up. And off she goes to do other stuff. We have a lack of almost everything at this point, which is lack of clothes, a lack of warm clothes. We have enough of linen. We have got 115 linen outfits, and then we don't get annoying notifications from that. But we are going to get some from the lack of wool, woolen outfits, and we are going to get from, of course, the high workload, which comes from all of these buildings which are staying unbuilt. We have the planting season now, so of course workload will jump, but we have already begun to go in and look at that. Goat has died of old age, nothing I can do about it. That's why I think we will have to build the shrine to Cernunnos in a little bit of time, because I do need a lot of trees cut down for it, and I need a huge amount of branches, and if I try to disassemble this, I won't get as many branches back, and then I won't be able to dry things, and things will just get slower and slower. That's not what we want to do. Planting is going fine, and finally they are getting to cut trees, I believe. Yeah, he's going to birch to cut trees, so let's go ahead and look at that. And he is using a copper axe. Ladies and gentlemen, a copper axe is in action. The guy behind is, of course, using a flint axe, and he started a bit later, but the copper guy should be done much faster, and it should happen with less number of clicks. So the better your tool, the less amount of work that you need to do. We are going to do massive amount of deforestation. If I could, workload permitting, I would cut down huge amount of trees. So everybody is coming in. We are getting inside our, we're going through our settlement at this point. Let's slow it down. Let's enjoy this a bit. And we have kept wood stockpiles in almost every area. So we are able to cut down and store that not in the warehouse but in open wood piles. And then, of course, they last less long in the wood pile, but these wood are used up quite quickly, and therefore you don't need to keep them in the warehouse where the slot is going to be used up. She needs a drink of water, and so do I. But while she is drinking water which is filled with bacteria, we don't have those problems in the present time. A goat is keeping watch on her. The goat needs to get slaughtered, of course. Another goat came and joined them. And we'll leave her be. Let's go back into the game and let's watch the planting go. This planting is very, very important because this will tell me how much straw I have. And I see a bunch of aurochs in the side, so I will go ahead and ask for them to be selected and caught. The donkeys escaped, but there is no escape because I do need a bunch of donkeys for pulling my sleds, for carts, because we will we won't completely ditch sleds, that's very risky to do. You want to basically move towards carts, because carts are pulled by donkeys and horses and then not by humans, and therefore they move much faster, and therefore that's nicer. This amount of wood cutting is not enough. I just cut all the trees over here and I just have like 10 extra logs. So let me just keep on increasing the amount of trees. The more trees I cut down, the easier my life is. And we are going to extend into this corner. Let's look at our metallurgy limits. Yeah, so we should get 25 charcoal. So all the wood that we are cutting down is actually getting converted. We'll get 100 copper ore and 25 bronzes for later. I'm going to bring down now the amount of clay that I need to 50 or maybe 100, because yeah, at this point we are down to 7 mud or clay, and then that's very low. But we will need 100 is more than enough. 100 is way more than enough. Let's keep cutting trees. First, we cut down these trees, and that will help us in this expansion. Else we cannot expand. The whole point is that we need to have unfettered access to raw materials. So for example, you might have a lot of copper ingots, but you might not have any sticks to which you have to tie the copper ingot materials and get stuff made out of them. So you are going to get stymied by something that you are basically not keeping an eye on, and then it can be really problematic. Let's give away our skin outfits. I know we are low, but I'll be a bit tyrannical. Let's give away these bones. Not that many. There we go. Some 8 straw that we have can be used for some amount of construction, and we need to keep an eye out. Yeah, so we grabbed all the child donkeys. All the children donkeys are out of that herd. I see more donkeys over here running around. So let me go ahead. So these guys will be just eating our straw because they need to become adults before they can be hitched on to carts. So I won't put down carts yet, because if I do, then those carts are basically just going to be built and not be pulled, and therefore they start losing their HP as soon as they are placed down, and therefore you have basically a cart which is rotting away, not being pulled, and that is undesirable. These are something else. These are deer. I see one auroch who's almost dead. If I send out a hunting party for it, they're going to send down 7,000 people to kill this one injured auroch. I'm not going to do that. Let us now just wait for these mines to finish and let them build up a huge amount of copper ore. The first attack that we get in the copper age will still have us with flint tools defending. Nothing I can do about it because we waited the maximum amount of time in the flint age, in the pre-copper age, so that we can basically dominate in the copper age. That's the sacrifice. But then on the flip side, you are going to get hit by much more mature raiders. But we have built defenses very, very nicely, and I'm sure and confident that we'll be able to hold them back. 132% workload. I'll keep this on my hotbar while people go and cut the trees down. Let's see how many sleds we have. We have 20 sleds. We have got 19 axes, so that's good. Each one of them has an axe and a sled to go ahead and complete their job. We have 59 sticks. That's not good enough. I need hundreds of sticks before I can go ahead and build the shrine to Cernunnos. But that is going to happen in this episode. We have built 3 copper mines. Probably even more are going to get built soon, but you get notification for your first copper mine and the third copper mine. You don't get for more. But we are building up a little bit of copper ore, and what I'm going to do, let me bump up the amount of copper I make to essentially 100. So basically that's much more than what I need. So as soon as copper ore comes in, it's going to get smelted. We have got 27 charcoal already made, so these guys are doing a fantastic job in getting all of that down. But none of the copper can be currently used because I don't have workshops and or blacksmiths or whatever they are called. And then because I don't have them, I won't be able to make things out of them, but very soon. And probably the answer is this harvest. That is why I did not put down these trees for cutting, because then my harvest would get affected. And that is non-negotiable. This time I need a really good harvest to build up all of these buildings. Just look at our workload. It's all pending tasks, which are house repairs, building repairs, but a lot of things which need to be built, a lot more wool cloth which needs to be made, but we don't have any wool. That's because the amount of sheep we have is too low. We have 9 sheep. So 123% workload. Yeah, we got all the little baby aurochs because you can see that only the adults are left. I won't go and hunt them because I don't have the luxury for it. This is the most important thing right now. It's to do the harvest and build those buildings. Our entire workload will just plummet as soon as, yeah, there we go. Our metal smiths are going up. These are very interesting buildings, and that will also allow us to go ahead and use the copper finally. 3 on this side, 3 on the other, and they are right next to the smelters and to the charcoal. This is how well this thing is defined. 118% workload. I will give the order for cutting the trees down because the trader is here. Let me go ahead and grab all the tannin, etc. from him. Let's get the straw. That always is nice. Let's get the charcoal because, yeah, it requires me to use wood to get rid of charcoal, but I can just buy. So I prefer that. Now, very important, we have cut down all this area where we get our tannin from. So now we are going to move tannin to a much larger collection area. So they are going to come over here. There is a huge number of trees over here where I can get tannin from. So let's go down. Let's put in one. Let's put one which is nearest to us. A lot of trees with tannin right here. Then right behind it. And I put 2 people per work area because this cannot be all collected by one person. So you will require 2 people. It will be a bit of work and nothing we can do about it. I am doing my best to bring the workload down so that we can get less of this annoying notifications, but it will take me a bit of time, so please be patient. I don't see enough trees over there justifying a work area, but I do see over here. And I think one more should be over here. And let's get this clump of trees too. right there. Now, in the previous gameplay series, which was the Ozymandian Kingdom, I had the initial. There is a old bison who just got shot. There we go. We got that bison. Now, we used to have all the tannin over here. But this time I'm not going to do that. The reason I saw is that there is this lake over here, and therefore all the hyenas and the wolves, etc., congregate much more over here. Therefore, while they go and grab tannin from here, then they get attacked. But on the other side, if we look at the other side, the water is actually over here. So if my people are grabbing tannin, they're not going further away from my settlement to grab water. They are coming back towards my settlement, and then if there is an attack, then probably they can either run away or I can defend. And that is actually much better than getting basically a difference between a win and a loss. Either I lose some person or they stay alive. Right, all of these are going up, and given how annoying this notification is, I am going to put down an order for all the knives that these guys can shove down their beautiful faces. And I see I have an adult female donkey. So the donkeys that we captured, they have begun to turn into adults, and I see only one adult donkey. So let me go ahead and put down one cart. Why is this happening? Clicks are not working. Why is this happening? Okay. So this needs to go down, and I also want to put down at least one workshop. Let's see if at least one can be built, because I don't want to manually place down sleds. I'm really bothered to do so. Right, we have ran out of flint, so we are going to recycle this one, and that will of course take down workload. And let's now go ahead and give orders for these. So there are 6 of them, but there are 5 kinds of copper tools. So the 6th building will be used for some other miscellaneous purposes. I'm really fiending for some warm clothes to be made so that this one annoying notification can at least get away. And this one requires a lot of knives, so I will give order for knives. Knives are being built. Workload high, 162%. And the whole thing goes on high priority. 115. So I am going to give the order for recycling all of these food dryers, because I just need these last 2, because that is part of the sculptor, but the rest of it will now get recycled. 20 sleds, but we can go ahead and bump up the amount of leather we make to 100. Let's make 100 leather, so that will increase workload slightly. But did we get everything harvested? Not yet. Yeah, I think we won't be able to get all of it, but we got quite a lot. We have 66 extra straw, and I see more donkeys, all for our domestication. Let's grab those piglets, just the piglets. I don't want to hunt the animals, and we have a blizzard. That's okay. We will figure out a way of getting everybody back. So let's get people back. One child donkey is over here, so we'll grab that. And very far away, no aurochs anywhere. No, I'm sure we are going to get hit by a raider. I'm quite sure that the game will try to finish us off by sending a raider team while we're having a blizzard. So I am keeping an eye out. I see some mouflons. I need to capture these mouflons because I am really struggling for wool. And we shouldn't struggle for wool. I mean, come on. Yeah, these are just adult mouflons. I don't have kids over here who can be abducted. Terrible thing to say. Right. A lot of chopping still needs to happen, but we have built up a healthy amount of log reserves. So let me now go ahead. Now, let's just finish with this. Mainly, our workload is a bunch of wool cloths that we can't make. Cattle has gotten disease. There are 4 cattle, and all of them have gotten a disease. Let's hope they survive, but I don't know. People are coming in exhausted. Let's ring the bell one more time. Finally, the annoying blizzard is over, and we are in the copper age, and metallurgy items are always the least priority of all the items that you have. And that is a bit unfortunate, but that's the way the game is designed. Let me go ahead and get rid of these Gaia trees before they grow up and require me to go ahead and chomp them down. Inside our settlement, there are Gaia trees going. We have 99 milk and 94 cheese. That's plenty. So we have 500, 600 food. So I'm going to bring the amount of milk that we are getting from infinity down to 100 because that is really a lot. If we have got problems in the future, we can increase that. But right now, the issue is we have a lot of workload. 97 cloth. As soon as I get 112 cloth, we are going to be liberated from this one annoying notification at least. Let's check our adult population of donkeys. There is only one adult and one cart has been made, I believe. Yes. So our donkey is out there somewhere, hitched up. There he is. He is chilling. He is doing things that donkeys do, which is being chill. Chill donkeys are good. And donkeys are very chill animals, I think. And there it is, raid. Let's see. Oh. Okay. Whew. If these guys were a bit nearer, so I took the risk, then we might have thrown a javelin or something or a bow, but they were right out of range, and therefore we got out. There are many people who are over there and they have no way to reach the raiders, so I'm going to tell them to come out. And we are going to also tell people, this is a huge raid, ladies and gentlemen. So we have outflanked them, and now they are going to get hit from both directions, and they are also going to get meleeed. There we go. Very good, ladies and gentlemen. No losses. We don't even have towers, no losses. And how many people, how many raiders came? Let's have a look. This was a big raid. We had 11 people that I can see. Oh no, there are a bit more, a few more. So 15, 17 people who came. And imagine this is the Copper Age and 17 raiders came, and the very first raid that we got, we had 10 people show up. And often that can be GG for inexperienced players. And we also had quite a lot of losses, not because we are inexperienced, but because I had to go in and zoom in and look at the nice footage. I see mouflons which require capturing. When are we going to do that? Any timelines, guys? Look at this kid. Look at this kid. All those alarms And he has been out there, Korgor has been Korgoring away in the middle of nowhere because this is what kids do. Trader is here. Can you please? Last of our cattle has died. So all the 4 cattle that we got, they just vamoosed into nothingness. And they gave us, they ate all of our straw, and they also gave nothing basically. They ate the straw, and now they need to be butchered by the townsfolk, and that also increases the workload. So complete loss. Let's start giving away these flint items because they are not as good, and therefore I want to basically transition into a metal only thing. Don't do it very carefully. Don't try to rush it because then you might get into issues. Donkey has died of starvation while we have 23 grain and 5 straw. It's incredible. Let me go ahead and put down one more cart because we went ahead and bought one more of these adult donkeys, and therefore we should get another cart. We were unable to build this workshop, so we won't be able to even put down. We'll still have to do it manually. We have space for 240 animals, and we are up to 211 animals which require shelter. Low on harvesting tools, everything is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's go ahead and look at our workload. Yeah, a lot of wool cloth which needs to be made, trees need to be chopped down, animals need to be fed, and some animals need to be tamed. Leather needs to be made, but leather we have now increased the limit of, and therefore we will be able to go ahead and do it. I see one more tannin collection area here. Let me move it to a better place so that I can get a few more extra tannin, but we are not going to rely on tannin from over here, but from the farther end across the river. This is just a fallback and an easier. Another storm is here. Game, really calm down, man. I know we are doing good and it's your duty to try and defeat us, but let me just enjoy the game a little bit. Is that too much to ask? I'm gonna not ask for these pigs to be domesticated. I don't need them. I just need 30 pigs so that I can essentially just have an infinite amount of raw skin coming in. Goats don't give enough raw skin. 10 knives, so 10 copper knives have been made. Let's see our metalsmiths in action. There we go. We have somebody in action as the metalsmith. They're working the bellows and they are building nice things. Let's go ahead. They're putting charcoal in the fire and then the work is done and they just leave the station for the next person to use. No respect, but I hope that they clean up after themselves and then the next person can come and use the bellows. We still require quite a lot of copper ore, so the lower the workload, we just got 2 people come into the settlement, which basically tells me that, yeah, the workload we are struggling for. Now let's build the shrine to Cernunnos. We have 166 sticks. So we should be able to build this. And now down the central axis we are going to come. Central axis, I said. There we are. And you will see how efficient our slaughtering of animals are going to become. Because if you don't have enough of these dryers, then they don't essentially slaughter the animals, and then those animals just stay inside your workload and not get filtered out. You don't finish with them, and therefore unfinished work is actually the enemy of efficiency. And me, being a master procrastinator, know all about it. Now we'll go for the horn head of Cernunnos. And there it is. So we are going to build this monstrosity up and fill it with meat. And let's just give them some time to do that. And I do hope that we are at how many? 103. So 10 more. Please, can we just get 10 woolen items so that I can get rid of this nonsense notification? I'm going to hunt this one. There we go. Clean kill. There's one more here. I'm going to get out the ones which are in our territory because, yeah, this I cannot suffer. Let me look around a little bit. I see these ibexes, and these ibexes, if I hunt them, then they will go away and fresh spawn of mouflons might come in their place, but I can't do that. I'm going to ask for these cows to be collected. A lot of predators. I ain't going here. Let me just get out of this area. More deer. Deer are completely useless. And therefore there is, of course, an achievement in the game where you get achievement for killing 100 deer, which I think is extremely pointless. But I think this game is not that well thought out. They made a great game, and I think they needed to put a bit more care into it, but they did not go ahead and do that. Then they got distracted and made some rando game which went nowhere, and now they are back making Planet Base Part 2, which is what they should have done. This company excels in catching lightning in a bottle. It excels. Two great hits from a company which is just two young people. To make two hits is something I'm sure big AAA games would kill for. Right? And they pull it off, but then get distracted and do other things, which is, I don't think, the right way to go. We have planted everything. And I think we had enough straw planted last time, so let me get rid of these Gaia trees by placing this peas, which we are not going to, of course, go for. And that will leave area free for us to essentially plant in future. So one more Gaia tree over here. Please go away, Gaia trees. I don't want you. Trader is here. Let's see what the dude brought. Right, some pigs. That's good. Let's get, yeah, linen cloth, naturally, because I don't have wool cloth, so he knows that. And therefore he brought, hey man, you want something that you have an excess of? No? Really? Why is my business not successful? You guys are cheap. That's the logic that I see the trader do, and I think he's just a bad businessman. Let me go ahead and check again how many adult donkeys do I have. I've got 1 and 4. So 5 total carts, and I have 2 carts just now, so I need to build in 3 more carts. And I have to do it manually because my workshop is still not up. There we go. Cernunnos is getting built up quite efficiently, and now we have 292 meat, and of them 80 require drying, and you will see how quickly this is going to fill up. Oh, we built the first workshop. Hey, now we are cooking. 20 sleds. So let me put down an order of an inordinate amount of sleds. We have brought our workload down. Great job, if I may say so. 30 knives, so let me keep on clicking on getting more and more of these copper tools. Copper tools have to be clicked constantly and they need to be built constantly. And now we will have far less of this flint, and I think even at a loss, I'm going to just give them away to the trader so that this guy can just release me from this constant cycle of getting annoying notifications. And of course, it boosts our... Look at the amount of meat, boys! Look at this! What is this? Let's look at it from the top. From this side, you won't get the idea. So let me align, let me align, let me align, game. Game, let me align. Game, let me align. Game, why you do this? I have to do it from a distance. Game, please. There we go. It's better. Still, I'm still not happy. There it is. No, it's crooked. There it is. So the way I built it is that this is the antler head of Cernunnos. So he has this antler because he's a liminal god. This game, why you move, game? Game, why you do this? Game, why you do this? Don't do this, game. Just be there. Calm down. So he's a liminal god. And therefore he is neither wild nor tame. Neither he's a god nor he's a beast. He's not human, he's not a beast. He's not nature, he is not human. So he is something in the middle. And he has got two things, which is a torque, which represents wealth, which is good to go after. That's what the philosophy says. And also he holds a snake. So he is one with nature, and he also understands material respects of life, which is essentially to make a bunch of wealth. So those are in his lap. He's sitting cross-legged, so that's why his legs are over here. And then this is the antler head, which is going to be his head, and it points towards our avenue, our religious avenue right there, and therefore we have got a completely astronomically planned pathway of a processional pathway, a religious processional pathway, which goes all the way towards the end. We don't have enough sticks right now. We do have plenty of wood, of logs. So let me go ahead and plant. Let me give order for more trees to be cut. Let me go ahead and do that, because then I think we will be able to, or we'll hold off. Let's just get the harvest in first, and this harvest will... Okay, so let me check the population. We have 180 population. Okay, so this entire harvest will get fed to the animals, because I'm not building enough in this one. I do have enough logs, but I don't have enough sticks. So if I try to build anything, then the issue is going to be that it'll get stopped for the amount of sticks. And then we are going to essentially just get bogged down with unbuilt items. We got a flex disease, which is okay. It doesn't affect us. As long as it's not barley, we are good. Huge amount of smelting is going on. Let's give the order for the trees to be cut down, and let's see what the trader has bought. Trader has got some wool cloth. Okay, he learned. He learned that I was getting progressively more and more angry. Okay, so we're going to pay with a lot of these flint items. I'm not even going to look, and I'm just going to send them over and not get tempted by holding obsolescent items. Let's go. Off you go. And now we have a nice harvest. We have 22 raw copper, so copper ore, that's good. We have 3 copper ingots, which I need a bit more, because then I would be able to convert them into tools much faster. I have 6 work slots, and three copper. So yeah, I need an excess of copper. Let's check our tools. So we have 20 flint spears in our inventory, needs to go. 14 flint knives, which I will still hold on because else I will keep getting annoying notifications. 9 flint axes, okay. 11 bone harpoons, which need to go. Um I have got 13 flint sickles, okay. Not bad. And 4 flint picks. That's good. Now that we have, let's check how many of our sleds do we have. We have 25 sleds. So still a lot of work needs to be done. It's all the sticks which is the issue, but our sticks got absorbed by the Cernunnos sculptor because this requires quite a lot of sticks. We had 100-ish and all of that got used up. 90 straw, so all of that will go into the bellies of our beautiful animals, and they are beautiful, and we are dependent on them, and they are our currency. Let's do another scan to see if there are any interesting animals that I would like to catch. I see some donkeys here. So are you with, no. So these, we have already captured their children and now we are oppressing them. We have 13 donkeys, and let me go ahead and look. How many adult donkeys do I have? I have got 1 and 4, so 5. And let's see, we have got 5 carts. So, okay, no more adult donkeys require no more adult carts to be placed down. These are bison, completely useless. I need aurochs. I see aurochs with their 2 children. So those 2 need to get captured, get turned into milk making factories, which we are going to utilize in the next stage. Also, I want to capture a bunch of bulls so that I can use them for plows in the subsequent ages. Great. We have got some, yeah, these are going to get hunted by the wolves. And these baby wolves I'll try to capture. In case I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. And some ibexes, useless. Let me hunt this old female. More. So you go ahead and capture this. And you will go ahead and capture this. So then this work will get out of the system really quickly, and therefore they are not going to contribute to workload. 129% workload. Let's chop down more trees. Yeah, this is being chopped down. We are going to look at massive amount of deforestation, guys. But we are carnivores, we don't care. We don't have responsibilities. We have just got our barbecues, we have got our skewers, we have got our skinning knives, and we are going to just dominate. Let me go ahead and also get trees from this side. 153% workload. Let's see how far we get. We have got, let's try to think. We have enough of logs. It's the sticks which is requiring us to cut these trees. But there is a place where I can get a lot of sticks, but the issue becomes is that they walk over there and then they get hungry and thirsty and they die in droves. And I would rather have extra logs, which I don't even care what happens to them, rather than having a shortage of logs. Smelting is going. Let's give the order and let's go to the trader. We have 131 woolen cloths, so finally the notification about that is gone. Let us now, yeah, so let's get these copper picks. We will just get a bunch of them so that we can essentially throw out all of these flint things. They all just need to go. How many of these slings did I make? I still have slings for days. Right, and we will still require some. Let's give away these leather things. Let's give away some of these linen outfits, which is a bit extra, and give away one log or some logs. There we go. Leave, 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 leave. I don't want to look at you. Let's enjoy the smelting. This is, after all, the age of copper. And do we have enough animal spaces? We don't. We don't. And we already finished all the straw, so this will get moved to the next season. But I do need to build all these guys a nice amount of stables. So let me go ahead and do that. 2 of these warehouses staggered, and then we have a copper pile on one side, so stone pile on one side, and a wood pile on the other. And then facing this will be the stables. One more over here. There will be 8 in total, and I kept the central part of it empty so that we could actually go ahead and put straw storage areas over there. But I noticed that it's never possible to build up an extra amount of straw. I could never do that, not even with the Ozymandian kingdom, and therefore I just turned them into holding wood, because you require quite a lot of wood, so why not? Now this will have 2 granaries, so that food which is made over here is instantly converted into is instantly stored in one of these granaries. And now let's go ahead and put down 2 wells to essentially feed these nice animals which are in the stables around them. Let's speed up the game. And I think we have to wait for another raid to come in. Oh yeah, we had a raid, so that will require a skull pole. So let me go ahead and do that. Another skull pole for another raid. There it is. And let's wait for the next raid to come in. And of course we are going to dominate, I'm sure of that. We have 16 flint spears now, so they are going down in numbers. This guy will start making a bunch of bows. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me look at cave lion is nearby. I saw it with the corner of my eye, so we are fine. 4 and 6. So now we require 10. So let me go ahead and put down 5 more carts, because we have got an excess of adult animals sitting there doing nothing. Let me put down fishing rods also, because yeah, that's a good trade item. And we will also put down some bows. That's plenty. Let's increase the amount of barley that we get right there. And this cave lions are really being complete idiots. So what I will do is I will hunt it. There we go. And there is one more, because yeah, this is way too annoying. Game is way too annoying. He's come inside our territory to attack somebody. If this person... No. Where did that one go? I'm not going to let that one go. No. That's not going to happen. He's killing people. He's killing dogs. It's way too much. 6 people will go in and just massacre that cave lion with extreme prejudice. There, we got it. And as an insult, I'm not even going to butcher it for meat. Let it just go to rot. Now, I see horses in the distance. I can't use horses. Let's continue the game. And we have got a calf over here. Let's go ahead and yoink that. And let's look around. So looking at your city is important, but also looking around is equally important, because else if you don't build up a bunch of calves which go into bulls, then in the Bronze Age you research this technology known as plow, which is really, really important, a very important research in fact. You won't be able to use it because you won't have enough bulls or horses to pull them. So you might spend the research point, but you get nothing out of it. Let's go ahead and grab this, grab the metal knives. We'll grab the fish. It's good to have a little bit of variety in meat, but it's meat only. And let's get these cows for our use. And let's pay with nonsense because this guy is buying it, so why shouldn't I just give it? Get rid of all these flint items. And we still have a huge bill. So I'm going to give a lot of these linen cloths away because there is quite a lot of them. Great. 208% workload. So let's go ahead and look at why that is. Yeah, so a little bit of building of these food dryers. A lot of meat which needs to be dried. You can right click them away. Sometimes it helps you lower your workload. I do recognize that I built this shrine to Cernunnos a little early. Probably in a few episodes I should have done it, but it's done, so yeah, whatever. We'll live with it. Bunch of trees which need to be cut down because we are struggling for straw. We're not struggling for logs. So as a matter of fact, I am going to move this all the way to the most branch heavy place on this map, which is over here. So let me put down 1, 2, 3 work areas filled with 5 people. So this is a lot of back and forths, but I need to build up my stick reserves. Stick reserves happen, then tools happen. Tools don't happen, then I get sad. Let me now go ahead and make the amount of copper that I smelt to 0. Not infinity, please. No. Let's make it 0, because then they are going to make the exact number of copper ingots as required by my tools. So if I require 50 tools, they will make 50 ingots. But if you put on 100, then they are just going to make 100 and they are going to sit there, twiddle their thumbs. All of that is work wasted, and we don't need any of that. See, we are struggling because of the lack of branches. We're not struggling in any other. They have got enough ingots, but they don't have branches. Something as humble as a branch can keep your workloads up. And that is something which you have to keep an eye out for. Think about the entire chain, not just what is directly being discussed. Only 3 people have joined our settlement. Not good. Not good at all. And we have got plenty of space, so I'm not going to go ahead and build any more buildings. Even in this harvest, the entire harvest is going to get fed to the animals. Let that happen. We're struggling in terms of leather, but we are making more leather, so that's good. Let me put down a few more tanners, because it could be that they don't have enough tanners to make leather, and therefore they basically have nothing to do. All these edges and corners I have meticulously gone hour after hour and I have put in every little bit of them to squeeze the maximum amount of efficiency that I can from this map. Let me go ahead and put down a 2 workshops. Maybe this I can maybe build, and then we are going to be able to put down more of these tanners over here. Because I need these dryers just to tell me where the tanners go, and therefore I'm placing them, because this whole thing is close packed. There is nothing which is actually wasted, and therefore you have to be doubly careful that no misplacement happens, because if that happens, then you are essentially having to delete a lot of things and rebuild them, and you don't want to do that. Let's put down 2 graveyards, funerary graves, over here and over here. Right, so then we will have a lot more tanners, because there is a lot of raw skin sitting with a lot of tannin sitting. So we are essentially just choke blocked in that respect. We have gotten to 60 sticks, so they're grabbing sticks really efficiently, and that will pull our tool production up, because we were struggling. Yeah, there it goes. The stick has come in, and then so has the copper ingot, which was already sitting there. And now let's go ahead and try to enjoy this game. But I'm sure we are going to get hit by a raid or a trader who will just come in and stop the show. Let's see if we can get some. There it is, raider attack. I know this game way too well. I know this game way too well, guys. I know this game way too well. And I don't know at this point if it's something to be proud about. Let's go ahead, and I don't see shields on them, so then they are still in the copper age. Full complement. So there is 19 of them. And we are going to close this particular door, and I'm going to keep an eye on this door so that I can close it when these guys are actually near to our boys. So that they keep running, and then they keep getting split up, and the more they split up, the more fire they get individually. Because as you know, I'm very philanthropic. I'm very focused on how much donation these people get, and they should get all the donation. There it goes. Our first arrows are out. They are splitting up just like we wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and close that door. Let's enjoy the raiders over here getting shot at. There are very few of them left over here. 5 or 6 of them standing. More are falling. This is hopeless for them at this point. There we go. We got them all. And we celebrate. Fantastic. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Please stay with Carnopolis. If you have ideas, comments, drop them in the comment section below. If you want certain design ideas that you would like incorporated, feel free to do that. Let's do a small recap before we leave. We went ahead and built this shrine to Cernunnos, which is now going to get filled up with meat. We started a huge amount of smelting. We brought our workloads into manageable proportions, although it still remains high. And we also went ahead and started getting copper tools and throwing out all of our Stone Age stuff in the baggage collection of the trader, who is foolish enough to get obsolescent items. He is happy, and then I am happy. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one. With the founding of Carnopolis, our people claw their way into survival with bloodied hands and sharpened bone. Animals were hunted and meat stockpiled. Fires blazed throughout the night. But peace is a myth. The first wave of raiders struck at the crack of dawn. We fought back. We lost some, but our walls held, and the meat still dries. For every raid, there shall be a skull hole to remember our fallen warriors. Carnopolis shall never fall. This has been the Strategic Indian, signing out.